I love you guys.
Welcome to the Torg Stories podcast. On this episode, Ann and I are discussing the Spurs win over Oklahoma City in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, and we're looking ahead to the New York Knicks and Spurs in the NBA Finals. But first, Ann, I asked you about the stories you consumed this week. Tell us a little bit about what you've seen or read.
Right, the stories I've seen. So I saw two stories, basically. I saw one 3-part documentary on the Amazon Prime, called Cocaine Quarterback. It was recommended to me by somebody at work. They loved it. I watched it. It was fine. It was nothing to love. But it was interesting. It was about a person here from Redondo Beach who grew up a volleyball player, then got a scholarship to USC, was told, you're not going to cut it here. He then started taking steroids, got muscled up and ripped, still couldn't make it in the volleyball, but the football team said, walk on, because his vertical leap was huge. He was just very athletic, and he made it. And it was like one of the best teams ever. The team with apparently Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart.
Yeah.
They crushed everybody. But, he didn't play a lot, but he was on the team. And then he became a cocaine kingpin, basically working with the cartel in Mexico and trying to get cocaine into Australia. And so basically it was his journey through that. It was interesting. He was a charismatic guy. He's like in a halfway house right now. And I thought, I maybe would go out with him if he asked me out, because he does have some charisma, even though he seems like kind of a bad guy. But
I feel like we've already been over you not taking on debt. And specifically to when we talked about the short story Rock Springs, you weren't interested in felons.
Well, I wouldn't pay for anything. I'd pay for dinner or something. But
so charismatic, good-looking felons are dateable.
Might work. And he's probably 10 years younger than me. I don't know what year Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush were in the finals, but probably.
And then Matt Leinart, he got into all that trouble in Indianapolis.
That wasn't Matt Leinart.
Oh, who was that?
It was somebody, but it wasn't.
Oh,
Matt
no,
Leinart.
It was the Jets quarterback. It was the guy the butt fumble guy. Oh, Sanchez. It was Sanchez.
Yes, it was somebody good looking. You're right. Yeah,
it was Mark Sanchez. It was Mark Sanchez.
Yeah,
sorry.
He got in the trouble.
Bad. I'm sorry, Matt Leinart. You didn't get in trouble.
He seems like he lives, I believe. I see his TikTok sometime, Matt Leinart. He got 2 hip replacements. So football can be rough on your hips, I guess. And he seems to be living a fine life in Orange County, living that beach kind of, I live on the coast life. So good for him.
It almost seems like the podcast every week could be what content you consumed.
It could be, Now,
is that boring because I haven't consumed what you've consumed? I don't know.
I finished both of my content just so I could have content.
Oh.
Because if I didn't finish them, or normally if I didn't have this podcast, I would have given up on both of them, probably. Because the second content I watched the 2024 film starring Demi Moore, got pretty good reviews, The Substance. Have you heard of this movie?
Nope.
A repulsive movie. A movie I could barely get through it. It was a satire, an over-the-top satire, I guess I would say. About, she's a 50-year-old, she turns 50. She gets fired from a ridiculous over-the-top showbiz job. It was almost like a Jane Fonda workout job. And Dennis Quaid is like the over-the-top boorish boss, younger, we need younger. And then she starts taking the substance, which the substance basically for 7 days, she's in her body. The other 7 days, it's Margaret Qualley's body, who's like a 25-year-old.
I don't know her, but right.
She's, young actress. And they basically have to stick to that schedule. It has to be 7 days on, 7 days off. And that kind of, the younger person kind of starts saying, I want to live a little longer than the 7 days, and starts stealing. And then Demi Moore, a finger becomes old and gray, then her whole leg. And it's just grotesque. They go to grotesque spots with like at the end, it's like a deformed 2-headed beast. So it was pretty crazy. So much blood. It was almost like a fountain of blood in a theater at the end, like a movie theater, a performance theater.
Yeah.
blood spraying all over all the audience people. So much blood. It was so grotesque. I could hardly get through it. But
This is a
that's what I
movie.
watched.
That's a movie you watched at home.
I watched that on HBO. It's available on HBO. Maybe other
Okay.
people will react better to it. I think Demi Moore won a Golden Globe for it.
Hmm.
Mighty even got nominated for an Oscar, and she did do a good job. But I just found the movie to be so over the top. And also, Demi Moore at 50, I don't know if that's really how old she is, but in the movie, she looked great. Like, don't do anything, Demi. You look amazing.
She's in Landman, and she looks good in Landman.
Yeah, well, she probably looked the same in this movie.
Because
And
this,
she has to be naked all the time, like purely naked. So
I think the new Landman focuses on her a lot because
I didn't know that. I had no
John
idea.
Hamm passes away in Landman,
Oh, well,
and
that's a big act for a
she's
series.
the wife, and she takes over the company. I haven't watched the latest season. I would like it, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah, Demi Moore is a good actress. I like her. I just haven't seen her in many things. So that's the content I watched. What was the content you watched?
I'm going to give it to you quick, and then I'm going to go back.
Okay.
The movie Send Help, the movie Stillwater, the movie Greenland 2, and I read, among many things, Greedy Sleep, which means nothing to you. I'll say more at the end. You had a big reaction to Send Help.
Okay, first of all, I don't know the book you read or whatever, and I don't know the second one, Stillwater. I've never heard of that. But the first one, I watched the first 20, 30 minutes of Send Help. Didn't want to watch anymore, and then I read the plot summary in Wikipedia. And I was glad I didn't watch it after I read the
yeah.
I but
gave
it interesting.
I'll jump to the fact that I gave it a B.
Okay.
Let's see. Of the three things I watched, I think I like Stillwater better. So my daughters and my wife loved Send Help.
Really?
And I liked it fine. And I do things like buy movies for the podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Megan's been wanting to see Send Help since it came out. So
okay.
it finally dropped down to $5.99 to rent. So we rented it. Rachel McAdams, pretty big departure for her, right? I mean, it's a funny horror movie. The directors have done, I think, the Evil Dead movies, which
isn't the director Sam Raimi, or am I imagining?
I don't think I wrote that down.
He did do Evil Deads, and he's known for over the top horror and to be kind of humorous too.
So I think he took a big step toward a more conventional movie, and Rachel McAdams took a big step toward horror for her, right? So they met in the middle a little bit. It's kind of like a funny Kill Bill, and it also has that graphic violence that's so extreme, it's sort of funny and silly.
Right. I knew both the actors, and I saw them on their press tour for the movie, and they were charming. Yeah, I think it's Dylan O'Brien and Rachel McAdams. So they're both very good actors, although he's mainly known for like kind of teen soap opera type stuff on TV. But I do think he actually is a good actor.
My girls knew and were excited to see Dylan O'Brien. I feel like I've never seen him in my life.
Yeah, I want to say he starred on some TV show, and he was in some kind of series of movies too. He's a good actor. He's a good-looking guy, and of course, Rachel McAdams is wonderful. She's a great actress.
She is. I mean, like I say, I'm realizing now that this could be the podcast every week because because we have a lot to talk about.
It was a bit over the top. Like all the guys that she worked with were extremely obnoxious and boorish, right?
Yeah. I said I like my movies like this, a couple big steps toward reality.
Right. Yeah. It's like I've met maybe one guy like that, but 10 at the same time at work. I guess they might egg on each other, and so maybe it would develop into that, but I've never met a guy quite so bad at work like that.
Secret Window, Secret Garden with Johnny Depp, the Stephen King story. That's a little bit more my speed. Just a turn. It's still funny.
And also she was extremely weird.
Yeah, she was
at work with her stuff on her face.
It was bad. It was much better. After a week on the desert island, it was way better than she was in the office. She was so
she was so nebbish.
Crap on her face.
Yeah, and it's like this woman who looks like this would not be like this.
That's right. I actually said that, and it came from you to say, okay, I don't think someone that looks
like Rachel McAdams
would actually have this spot, even though I know there's some very misogynist men.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I think my favorite. So I'm in a weird we're in a dead period as far as my high school basketball team goes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not even allowed to see them. Um, and then my summer class kicked off, which is 22 students. I can wake up and respond to them in 2 hours. So I have quite a bit of time.
You can get some free
Um,
time.
and then we don't have basketball every night. So 8 p.m. rolls around. What are we going to do? Okay, that's why I think I've consumed more content. So Stillwater, starring Matt Damon, Camille Cotton, and Abigail Breslin. Do you know this at all?
No.
First of all, Matt Damon, great job. I actually thought, sorry, Kevin Larkin and Tracy Scheidler, two of my high school friends. I kind of thought Matt Damon was kind of a cross between Kevin Larkin and Tracy Scheidler, and he's got like a Oklahoma State hat on. He's got a goatee, which my friend Herb, Kevin Larkin, wouldn't wear. He's wearing a flannel. Has kind of a well, he works on oil rigs, which departs from my friends. So Matt Damon really like captures this sort of Midwestern working man persona. So he's estranged from his daughter. His daughter studies abroad and she gets imprisoned for killing someone and she says she didn't do it. And the story is Matt Damon going to France trying to get his daughter out of prison. So I think even though I'm giving that a B minus, which means I'd like to send help more than Stillwater, after a couple of days, I think I like Stillwater better.
I like Taken, right? With Liam Neeson. Where he's
I
saving
mean, I
his
hate to
daughter all
bring
the
this
time.
up because I actually think it's different enough.
Well, I've never seen either one. So
Well, no, so Amanda Knox is offended by this movie. You know, Amanda Knox,
the Italian
yeah.
murder did not murder. Yeah.
So I mean, I think I don't know if she sued these guys, but it's a story of someone being imprisoned abroad for killing their roommate.
Right.
I think there's enough different, and Stillwater doesn't in any way that I saw make a claim to being inspired by Amanda Knox. But anyway, there's some tension between the real life crime of that and Taken. No, it's not Taken. I mean, I won't spoil it, but it's in the ways that No Country for Old Men doesn't have a clear happy ending. Neither does this movie.
And what streaming service is this on?
I think it's on Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, I think it's free.
It's very under the radar for a Matt Damon movie.
I agree. I remember the
Yeah.
previews and then didn't hear much about it.
Right.
Pretty high, 4.4 out of 5 on Amazon, I think. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
There's
I
a lot
don't
of
know. Who
movies.
knows about ratings? I don't trust them.
So, did you ever see Greenland?
No. This is the one with
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler, who I once saw at the top of Griffith Park
Oh,
working out with his trainer. And I was like, there's Gerard Butler, and he looks good.
and the screenwriter for Greenland,
I don't know.
the screenwriter for Greenland 2, former guest of the Torg Stories podcast,
Oh, for real?
Chris
That's
Sparling.
crazy.
I didn't
Wow,
realize
weird.
that until I looked it up. So when we gave credit, sorry, Chris, when we gave credit for Project Hail Mary having a little bit of a unique problem with the Earth,
Mhm.
the problem with the Earth in Greenland is a comet.
Right, which is pretty standard. Yeah.
So Gerard evacuates. The whole story in Greenland is Butler's family escaping from the United States to Greenland, which
to
is
Greenland.
safe.
Everybody goes to Greenland. Yeah.
And then Greenland 2 is they got to move from Greenland to what's called the crater. So
Greenland 1, we got to get to Greenland. Greenland 2, we got to get the hell out of Greenland.
that's right. So when you're like, I love that movie, how could you guys not just come up with some reason to do another one? Like, how
Right.
is there only one? That's what this one is kind of. It's like, look, you
Right.
guys
It's a
begged for
sequel.
another
Yeah.
one. Here it is. Sure, it's almost the same as the first one.
Right. Well, that's what people want. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it's on Netflix. And then finally, I don't know, Ann. I've read some essays I think we could read. I don't know about this one, maybe. So it's called Greedy Sleep. It's by Bernard Cooper. Two things going on. The narrator takes Ambien and he binge eats when he takes Ambien. So
I shouldn't take it then. That would be enough
almost
for me
like
to stop.
sleepwalking. So he takes it.
Yeah.
And really, I would never think about taking Ambien. And when I am given his scientific explanation about Ambien and how it works, etc., I was like, oh, well, I could see taking it, I guess. I'm
I
not going to
wouldn't
take
take
it.
it. I don't think sleep. I think only if I was really desperate. I was really having desperate problems sleeping. But I have heard lots of Ambien stories, and they all sound pretty crazy to me. So I don't
All
want
of that
Ambien.
stuff just seems like
I feel like Tiger Woods took a lot of Ambien.
I feel like I should just be tired, and that once I start taking stuff to go to sleep and taking stuff to wake up, it
Yeah, you're
starts a
entering
cycle.
Michael Jackson territory,
Right.
right?
That's
He's
right.
taking a
And maybe that's a
extreme
anyway
example. Yeah.
happening at the same time while this guy is taking Ambien and binge eating. His partner is HIV positive,
Mm.
and he's on this. It's called AZT. I don't know. This is
Yeah, it's
early in
a
the
AIDS
AZT,
fighting
and his
drug.
partner
Yeah,
is essentially his body is withering away to nothing.
right.
Like he just eats and eats and eats and eats and loses weight. It was an interesting essay. I like it. I recommend it. And I have a link to it at thetorg.com. It's for free wherever it was first published. I, of course, paid for my collection of essays and am reading it out of that.
Like a good content receiver.
I just would never find the essay on this website otherwise.
Yeah, I meant to say, I don't know if I've ever talked about this content that I actually did watch a couple of weeks ago. And did I ever talk about Andor on here?
Mm-mm. I don't remember it if you did.
Okay, everybody, and when I say everybody, I mean critics I read or seen a TikToker say Andor, incredible. This is a Star Wars
Oh,
prequel
right.
series on the Disney Channel. Everybody was like, Andor, the most incredible series ever. And I was like, finally, I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch Andor. I watched, there's 2 seasons of Andor. The first season of Andor, I thought, it's fine. It's not incredible, but it's fine. And the lead character is a character that's from another prequel movie called Rogue One. And when I watch Rogue One, people often think it's one of the best prequels.
Are we talking about Boba Fett?
No,
Okay.
we're not. We're talking about them figuring out about Death Star, basically. It's how they figure out about Death Star. And when I watched Rogue One movie, I thought it was fine. I didn't love it, but people love that movie. People think that's an underrated movie too. And this is the prequel to Rogue One, in fact. And the star is the same, this Mexican actor who I don't love either. I can't even think of his name, but he's the star of the movie. So the first season, I was like, it's fine. I don't really get it. It's fine. The second season, I was like, still kind of starting a little slow. But there are 3 episodes in the second season that were just phenomenal. 3 episodes, I was like, okay, I get it. This is great.
Yeah.
So the 3 episodes kind of elevate it. It's a lot to get through to get to those 3 episodes because they're towards the end of the second season. But overall, I think I would recommend it, and it was pretty interesting. So that's
Could
my
I
review of
jump
Andor.
to these good episodes in Andor or no?
I don't know. Would you understand enough?
Right.
I don't think you would. The rest of it's fine. I mean, if you like things like Stillwater or Green, whatever, it might be right in that ballpark. But these critics.
Oh, it sounds totally different. Stillwater is reality based.
No, but I mean a very competent, well acted, good production value, just not over the top. These critics had me thinking I was going to watch The Second Coming, I guess. I just was going too much. And so maybe I was, but there's 3 episodes that are not quite The Second Coming, but were pretty good.
I liked Apex a lot remember I brought up the Most Dangerous Game, and it's kind of like an updated Most Dangerous Game with Charlize Theron.
It's called Apex.
Apex, which refers to a mountain, not a good name. See what I mean, Ann? Like, I feel like we're hurrying through this content a little bit. We probably could leisurely go 45 minutes.
Right, yeah.
Okay. So, Ann, going into the Spurs Game 7 versus Oklahoma City, what did you expect?
First of all, I am a Thunder hater. I don't like them. I'm one of those people that says, what if Halliburton didn't rip his Achilles tendon? Would have we won? You know, and if Indiana Pacers could have won, you can't be that great. I mean,
hey, you see, I got my shirt on today, right?
Oh yeah, I didn't actually notice.
Couple things. One, can you believe? I'm gonna say Can you believe we were in the NBA Finals last year, and this year we won like 13 games, 15 games?
I know. Can you believe we're in the NBA Finals to a Game 7? People thought we were going to get swept by the Thunder. People thought we were going to get beat every previous series, and we didn't. And we could have won if he didn't rip that Achilles tendon. And then we get ripped in the draft it's just too many rips, basically.
So
But that's okay.
later I'm going to say why the Knicks are a fun team for me to have in the finals. Part of how that's able to work as a Pacers fan is last year.
Okay.
It's like we beat them, blah blah blah. Okay, now here's who's left. We'll be back.
Okay. So back to my expectation. We'll talk a little bit about Knicks later, as you say. I don't like Thunder. I want Thunder to lose. The Spurs, I'm finding pretty fun. Wemby,
Yeah.
he's an unusual, interesting person.
Right.
These guards are very hard-nosed people.
Yes.
Castle, Harper, even Fox. I even remember Fox from the Kings.
Vassell, Champagny, I know those aren't guards.
Right. But even Fox from the Kings
Wings.
thing, I think that was the first year I started watching the NBA, was when he was good on the Kings and they had that light the beam crap. So I even have a little
the beam
crap. So I even have a little soft spot for Fox. So I was hopeful for the Spurs, but I wasn't sure that they were going to do it because they're so up and down, right? They were like lose one, win one.
Yep.
So I just thought maybe the Thunder would pull it out. It was at home. So I was pleasantly surprised that they won. I hadn't been able to really get into it and watch the previous games. I watched this one for the content. And, a little part of me said maybe they can win. So I did enjoy watching.
Yeah, let's come back to having not watched much and then making yourself watch. Were you surprised by anything? Don't let me forget to ask you that.
Well, when I say
I don't want to ask you now. I want to ask you later. I want to give you my expectation.
Okay. When I say I don't watch, though, I don't watch, but I'll read articles about it and listen to podcasts afterwards. So it's like I know a lot about it. I couldn't take the up and downness of it and the blowouts. And I don't want to watch a blowout. And 5 of these games were blowouts, kind of, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did watch the end of the first quarter. The first game when they were in OT. I just watched the overtime. So I did watch a little bit of it. But I do find it exciting that there's a new team. I'm one of the masses who says I don't like to watch the Thunder. Yep. I don't like them at all, actually. And maybe it's irrational and stupid, but I don't like them. So I was happy to see them lose. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm someone who probably didn't watch 10 minutes of NBA basketball during the regular season.
Right. I watched tons of regular season.
And then one of the big changes is my season got over.
Right. Yeah.
But the playoffs started, and the difference between the regular season and the playoffs is 250% effort, intensity. And I'm not bragging. I'm marking the difference. I have seen, I would say, except for maybe the last 5 minutes of a 30-point game, I have seen every minute of both finals series. Right. Every night, my whole family sat down. My wife and daughters paying less attention, also multitasking. But I've watched all of it, so that's a huge difference. So, like you said, on the one hand, I thought I had learned the lesson that if Wemby was good on one night, he was going to suck the next game.
Right.
And so my biggest example of that, 49 points, 24 rebounds in game 1.
Right. Which, 2 overtimes? Everybody is really exhausted. That's what I'm saying.
That's a good point. That was 2 OTs, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In my notes, I only have 1. So he went from 24 rebounds to 7 rebounds to 4 rebounds.
Yeah.
So on the one hand, I thought I learned just don't forget, Bill, if Wemby's good, he's not good the next game. That's one of my guidelines. But my overriding that is thinking back to Wemby playing for France against the United States. And I thought Wemby's big gameness would override his flip-flopping good, bad, good, bad.
Right. His intensity and competitive drive would override the I can't be great every game. During the season, he literally only played like 25 minutes a game. They really
super important thing to note.
Yeah. And now he's playing 40, full out games, basically.
Whatever. Yeah. Cornette's playing 14 minutes. So 48 minus 14, that's how much Wemby's playing.
Right. Yeah.
And
And
then
you're
it's
seven
worth
six
noting,
running up and down the court.
it's a
You know what
really
I
good
mean?
point that you make. The Knicks have had a great big rest, and the Spurs are getting ready to keep playing.
Right. They get a
I will,
3-day rest.
and so I went through all of Wemby's stats for all 7 games. And what I hope to be able to explain to you or show to you was how Wemby did overcome his flip-flopping. But actually, Wemby's numbers last night, 22.7 rebounds, 2 assists. Really, good game.
Yeah,
Not
normal
a
game.
check game. Good game. Um, but actually, those are the numbers he usually had when they lost. And so I think the thing that I can talk about a little bit. Oh no, I guess I want to say two part. What happened to Wemby's big game? Why didn't he go 49 points, 24 rebounds more often? What do you think about that? I guess you didn't watch all the games.
Yeah, I didn't watch all the games. I think perhaps he just doesn't have the strength to be that aggressive all the time, would be my thought. Even though I haven't watched him, he just, the kind of strength, he's a very slim 7'6",
Yeah.
the kind of physical strength it takes to be banging down, especially in the post, is pretty incredible. And so he just doesn't have that to give every game.
I think they went from the Thunder. Let's phase out Hartenstein and let's put 5 3-point shooters on the floor so that Wemby can't roam around. And Wemby went 49 points and 24 rebounds. And then I think they said, let's put Hartenstein out here and let's have Hartenstein grab his jersey, grab his arm, put his hands around his waist, hold the top of his shoulder so he can't jump. And hey, everybody else, if you see a chance to do that, let's do that too. So the huge change from game one was we are going to, which you touched on, we are going to be physical with Wemby every chance we get.
Right. We're going to be physical, push them around, and all that takes effort out of the body, right?
And then a really
energy, I guess.
easy way to sum up much of the rest of the series and something to watch for against the Knicks. So Wemby sets a high screen and roll. He rolls down into the post. Reggie Miller at first wanted that to get Wemby the ball, but you're not going to get Wemby the ball. What OKC did is everyone's in the paint chucking Wemby as he's rolling. And so now there's 3-point shooting everywhere. And the Spurs got enough 3-point shooting that they won.
Right. The Spurs guys are making these 3-pointers. I don't know if I can count on that every game. Champagne or however you say his name, really made some big ones. And that's a big deal. If you miss a couple of those, it can be catastrophic.
So my next question was Wemby had a stat. Yeah, you heard that part. So how did the Spurs still win? And my number one was what you just said. Champagne went 6 for 11 from 3. Wemby went 3 for 5. Sometimes Wemby doesn't hit any.
Right. Wemby knocked down some big ones. Champagne knocked down so many that were really important. And I also think a key was Fox played a decent game. He played a really good game, whereas he was struggling in games previous, at least I heard.
Way more explosive on offense.
Hitting shots, hitting the 6-footer, floating, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he scored like 0 a couple games he didn't even play. So he scored 15. He also poked some balls away on defense. He looked much more active.
Right. And he also has a nice controlling presence as a point guard, I think. When he doesn't play, I think somebody like Castle or Harper, they have some kind of, they're doing incredible for being how young they are, but they do some dumb things every once in a while. Like Harper would do something dumb, and then the next down, he would make a step back 3, So he was really up and down to me in this game, but still very important.
One of those guards had 11 turnovers on their own in game one.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember what Castle. I think it was Castle. I meant to look up all the turnovers and write them down. But I think last night as a whole team, they only had 9. So part of that is Fox is playing more. Fox is handling the ball a lot. He doesn't turn
you can
the ball
really
over.
trust his ball control type stuff, right?
Right. So they were really playing without a point guard when Fox was hurt and or not playing. So that was my number 2 as well. 3, Caruso, who had been good, was bad on offense last night.
Right. Caruso wasn't great, which I don't know. I find him to be one of the most annoying people. I just don't like Caruso at all. Maybe it's the bald head and the
I wish I
headband.
would have wore a headband today. That would have been good too.
I'm not a headband fan. I get it though. He probably sweats a lot. He needs to stop on his eyes. He's very bald. And hey, it is better to shave your head like that than like who was it? Derek White. He used to have the horrible hair for a while.
But I think the thing he does that I don't do, I'm Kornheiser, he's Wilbon. He does the razor shave.
Right. You have some
I
hair back
clipper
there.
it. Yeah, I don't really like the razor.
Well, you might look a little extreme with the razor.
It's
At least you
pretty
don't let it get any longer than it is here. Because if you let your hair get longer, then it starts looking stupid, right?
Then I look like Bozo.
Yeah, you look like dumb guy who can't give up.
Literal Bozo who had no hair on top and big.
That's right. I forgot about Bozo. I loved Bozo.
Yeah, and also I think there's a clown on The Simpsons with the same hair, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he's patterned after Bozo, don't you think? Krusty the clown.
Krusty, that's it.
Yeah.
And a lot was made of Chet only taking 2 shots.
Right. Chet's going to get the pile on. I listened to Bill Simmons' podcast on my walk this morning.
Oh, I haven't listened to that yet.
He got ripped a good one. I listened to another podcast after the game by somebody else, and they ripped him a lot. And I found to feel bad for Chet, but not too bad. He does play for the Thunder, and he should be better than this. I mean, he took 2 shots. He had 1 block. It was like he was scared out there, which, sure, I get it. You're intimidated by Wemby, but you are quite tall yourself. You, in fact, have very similar body types. You look like scarecrows out there, you and Wemby.
Mm-hmm.
So you think he could do something. I don't know. He just has to be better than nothing.
I think after I did more research, my number 1 point, I'm moving to number 2. I think my number 1 point is Chet gets a lot of stuff done around the rim. He suddenly is facing someone who's a couple inches taller than him, and that's over. And I don't know.
But Chet also is supposed to be a good 3-point shooter, and he was not. Right?
Well, that goes to my second point. And this is my defense of Chet. And I would have to watch more video, and I would have to hear about the plan. As I told you last night, you can't shoot if you don't get the ball.
Sure, but you don't want to throw it to him. He's not even catching it. I think you'll be the only one in America defending Chet. I don't know if you're just trying to play devil's advocate or something, but Chet's going to get ripped.
Yeah. Oh, he's certainly going to get ripped. I think as a coach, and I think you could go to Miles Bridges from the Knicks, and you could go to Cat in the first 2 playoff series for the Knicks. The coaching staff made adjustments to make sure Cat was getting the ball a lot more in the high post, and they were screening away where Cat was like a threat to shoot the 3, a threat to hit the backdoor cutter, a threat to hit the screener. In Miles Bridges, it's included in some hard curl cuts in the lane, letting him run a screen and roll once in a while. So I don't think there was any there was no focus of getting Chet the ball.
Right. Plus his confidence was really shot. And once you have shot confidence, it's hard to get it back. I certainly wouldn't give up on Chet.
Right. They won't.
I'd be like, Chet's still on my team. He's a very important part of the team. Who am I going to get better than Chet? It might be really hard to find somebody better than Chet.
So they didn't start Dort the second half. Dort didn't finish the game. I kind of feel like that might be it for Dort.
Let's get rid of Chet. Or let's get rid of Dort.
He's probably pretty angry as that game winds down.
Dort also doesn't do any good things for your rep. Dort is
for your what?
For your rep. You already have bad rep for all the foul baiting and all that crap.
Yeah.
Dort's like kicking people, throwing them across the, he's no good. Let's get rid of Dort. I'm all for that. And yeah, maybe he will be getting rid of. I think they should make little small changes like that. I don't think they should make any big changes.
They certainly have the assets. I sort of left the series thinking they need another big time offensive threat.
Right, but the hurt guy,
maybe Jalen Williams.
Yeah,
with the knee from Santa Clara. I finally have learned the difference between the 2 Jalen Williamses. Maybe he's enough. Maybe it's like I can't even think of who I would say the number 2 player on the Spurs is.
You mean you don't know who it would be for
I don't know
sure?
who I would
It's just
identify as the second
right.
best Spurs player.
Yeah, maybe in a couple of years it'll be Harper, right?
Maybe.
I would say the worry for me with this J-Dub guy is his hamstring ever going to be okay again?
Just like you worried about Caitlin Clark.
Do I worry about her?
You said that same thing about Caitlin Clark's
Oh,
hamstring.
did I?
Yep.
Oh, well,
That's all right.
I didn't know.
Keep going.
But this one's even worse to me because he's had a hamstring almost the entire year. This is like an Aaron Gordon. This is like even a Giannis. I feel like Giannis is out a lot for his hamstrings. Luca had his bad hamstring. But if you're going to be out all the time, then maybe it is time to get you away. So I would give him another year. Let's see what the next year looks like. Is he healthy? Well, then we're fine. We're perfectly fine. That would be my feeling on that.
Yeah. So SGA's stock went up a little bit for me in this game before we stopped talking about the Thunder. I think it's a credit to Gilgeous-Alexander that people start holding his numbers up next to Jordan's numbers. But in the last few games, as I watch Shea struggle against the defense, just like Jordan's ability to get his mid-range shot, which you could say is what Shea did. Jordan did that with a overpowering, almost LeBron-like strength and a step back, and a post-up game where he could hold anyone off as the ball came in. They're not even in the same conversation. Like I wouldn't even begin to think about, oh, I kind of like SGA at the end instead of Jordan. I would never ever say that. However, SGA really delivered last night, 35 points, 9 assists, making tough shots.
He really made some shots where I was like, oh, I can't believe he made that. That was pretty rough.
Whereas, I think Jordan's shots were more like, I can see how he can get that pretty reliably most of the time.
Right. Shea shots to me where people were really hanging on him and he still made the shot.
The same thing you would say about Brunson sometimes.
Right. Yeah. Like, wow, you really made that shot. That's crazy.
So zero fault to SGA for last night's loss.
Yeah, I got no fault to SGA. He can't carry this whole team. He did his MVP award proud. He was fine. I'm not a Shea lover, but fine. You were really great.
And then we're going from all of a sudden, I guess I just said this kind of, the OKC roster suddenly doesn't seem as scary or dominant as it did 3 months ago.
Right. I do think they're going to be really good next year if everybody's healthy, right? They're going to be right here. I do think the Spurs look pretty scary now, but everybody's so young. To me, the only thing people can, and it's a horrible thing to hope for, is that Wemby's going to get hurt sometimes and he's not going to be playing. But I don't have a shot.
So I wouldn't say SGA, Jalen Williams, Chet. We can never beat them. It just doesn't feel like that.
Right. I wouldn't say that. Two of the important people were out. You don't know AJ Mitchell, but he was also out. And he's a solid player, a good scoring option, and he was out. So two really, and one especially important.
So we go Pacers. We go Halliburton, Siakam. Who do we say is our third big dog? Now is it Zubac?
I guess Zubac or even Nebhard. You would be like, if Nebhard and Zubac are out, well, yeah, our team's not going to be quite as good. So it's.
I guess let's say this: if we see a Spurs sweep in the finals, then we might go, uh-oh.
Right. I don't think we will, though. My prediction would be like 6 games Spur win or something, because we can see the up and downness of the Spurs, even though they finished this out in Game 7, right? They're just not there every game, and they're still very young. Whereas the Knicks do have something about making big shots. They're really good at making the big shots. This Mitchell Robinson broken finger thing could be very harmful. I think an important thing. This is the only strategic analysis I'm going to have for many of the games, but I think
is anybody going to tell us how he broke his finger?
No, he probably punched a wall or something is my guess. To me, the important thing would be Knicks get offensive rebounds and put them back in. And that's something Mitchell Robinson's very good at. Oh, surely he can probably still do that with a broken finger. It's a pinky. So I think that's very important that he's really good. He's still going to be really good.
So going in, two things I'll say about the Knicks before I get into I'm a Pacer fan, but here's why the Knicks are fun for me. The Knicks are the number one 3-point shooting team by percentage in the playoffs.
Which seems crazy to me because when I think of them, I don't think of them. I mean, sure, Brunson, but I don't think of any of the other guys as like, oh, they're a great 3-point shooter.
They were fourth in the season.
Yeah, it seems crazy to me, but I guess they're knocking them down. I don't know. I mean, people like Landry Shamet are going in there, and Shamet are going in there making threes. It's crazy to me.
Do you know what he shot in that series?
No.
11 of 12 from three.
Yeah, I mean,
11 of 12.
It doesn't seem like it's something could be replicated, but maybe he's just in that zone. So that could be like, we've had a great rest. We're going to come back refreshed, and we've been playing great. Or they could be, we're a little rusty. We haven't played in a while. The Spurs could be, we're exhausted. I left everything on there, and now I can hardly play. Or they could be like, we're in the zone. We're going to crush you. So you just don't know what you're going to see.
Brunson, Cat, Bridges, Shamet, and then there's some other bench players. That's 4 3-point shooters. Hart is streaky.
Right. Yeah. Very streaky. Like the only player left on the Knicks that I still kind of like, Hart.
All right. I'm going to give you my.
Before you get too much into Knicks, I wanted to point out 4 big things that happened in the final 7 minutes of the OKC game. Great. Are you ready?
Yep.
Number 1, I put little stars by these and everything. The Cornet block at 6:35. This happened at 6 minutes and 35 seconds left. They get the OKC steals it. They run down. Cornet does a great block on Hartenstein. That basically keeps a 6-point lead. And then the Spurs come back and score. So it could have been a huge turnaround, right? Get down
you didn't write down the score there, did you?
No, I just put to keep it at 6
So
points.
it was like Hartenstein made a great play. It was like good denial, got a fingertip on it, out-hustled somebody, out-toughed somebody to get the ball.
Right, it was like somebody just tried to toss Wemby.
I yelled at the TV. Yeah. Everybody started paying attention. And then out of nowhere, Cornet, who you would never think would do this, Hartenstein made a good play to get to the rim. He had to dribble and put a little move on to get to the rim. So you think he's going to dunk it. And then Cornet, who's been a sore spot, he's in the unfortunate position of Wemby's out and now we're getting our butts kicked.
Right.
Huge play. I agree. I might rank that as the number 1 play of the game.
Right. Second, actually I have 5 of these. Second, at 5:30, so a minute later, Champagne, I hate saying that name.
It's Champagne. I think it's like Penny.
I want to say Champagne. That would be such a great name.
I think it's Champagne. Yeah.
Champagne makes
Champagne went to St. John's. Go Redstone.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Go Redstone.
He also got waived by the 76ers.
Champagne?
Yes. Isn't that crazy? Gosh. And the 76ers, of course, also traded McCain to OKC. Champagne makes a big 3 at 5:30 to keep the Spurs into this lead. Then at 4:50, Harper just does a ridiculous, stupid drive. This is one of the things that's like you do a dumb rookie thing. He goes in, he does this dumb drive, almost like a one-on-one drive at 4:50. He gets stopped. They take it the other way. Big OKC miss.
Yeah.
And then they come back and score. So big save Harper's face, basically.
So right in here, after the Spurs won game 1, I bet the Spurs to win the series. Right in here, I'm saying I don't like these shots and decisions that the Spurs are making.
Harper does this dumb drive, and then what happened was McCain missed a 3 where Wemby kind of almost gets to it. He really hustles, and McCain misses. If he made that 3, we're looking at a big thing, right? Yep. And then Harper comes back and he gets an offensive rebound layup. So he redeems himself immediately. And then my last big play, 3:35, Harper also makes this crazy step back 3. That was like, wow, I can't, I would normally yell at you for making that shot or taking that shot, but you made it. So you're just wonderful. So those are my big plays of the game. You can go back to
these guys are hard-nosed.
He's got guts, yeah.
hustling players who make mistakes, but don't let that impact the way they react to their mistakes. And their toughness and fearlessness overcomes their inexperience so far.
Right. They want to make big time plays.
Yeah. So that's worth a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Because on the other side, I thought McCain was shooting too much for who he is and who he's on the floor with. But he started to win me over by the end to me thinking, yeah, they need him to do this.
Yeah, did need somebody. I agree.
Yeah. All right. So I guess I'll ask you before I get into my 8 reasons that the Knicks are a fun finals team. For me, I guess I hate to ask if you don't like anyone in the finals, you would watch the finals, you wouldn't watch the finals.
I think I will watch the finals now. If it was Thunder Knicks, I probably wouldn't have watched.
Mhm.
But now that it's Knicks, and also there is excitement with Knicks being New York, and everybody's excited, and that excitement actually makes me want them to get beat. Though, 2 years ago, I was a Knicks fan. I was like, I love these Knicks; they're so fun.
Yeah.
But then last year, the choke, what's his name? Halliburton choking. It was just so great to watch them get defeated.
Right.
And all the celebrities and be like, yeah, it was a little bit of the small town. I live in LA, but it's a small town of me saying, yeah, you stupid coast towns. You don't own the world. We still beat your ass. So I still have that part
I
of me.
disliked the New York teams far more once I lived in New York.
Right.
Once I got regular interactions with their fans, it was easier to dislike them than from afar.
Right. Like remember even last year when they won maybe the series before Pacers and then went out in the streets like they won the World Series. Like you guys, you're not even in the finals yet. So that kind of stuff is a little bit ridiculous to me. But they're scrappy guys and they are kind of guys that you don't want to necessarily root against. So they do have that going for them, but I do want them to lose.
Okay. Here's my list. You can react or I'll just go on to the next one.
Okay.
I worked in New York City for 11 years.
Right. Long time.
So that makes it a little bit more interesting. I've been to Madison Square Garden. I've been in the locker rooms. I've stood next to Spike Lee in the tunnels. You and I went to Billy Joel in Madison Square Garden. I've come out of
time I've been. Yeah.
I've been out of Penn Station many, many times. So just all of that familiarity makes this fun.
Right. I mean, if somebody were to give me a $30,000 ticket to go to Knicks, I would go for sure.
Yeah, we
would book a flight. I would take time off. I would go.
My kids would love for me to buy 3. Megan said, if you want to take the girls, you guys can go. But we can't pay for it.
Yeah, it'd be like 30 grand or something, right?
It would be at least 15 grand to set up in the corner.
Yeah. And that's not even talking to getting there.
No, we're not doing that. Right.
Right. It's not that important.
Number 3, and there's a lot of Timothy Chalamet hate out there, right?
Yeah, I don't hate him. I think the hate is a little forced for the ballet comments. Hey, he's only speaking the truth. Ballet and opera aren't that popular. I don't think he actually hates ballet and opera. His sister actually was really big into it. So he's just talking off the cuff. I did hate Marty Supreme, but he's a good actor. And Dune is a great movie. So he's got that for him.
So really, this is a celebrity comment, and I didn't really finish out the celebrity comments, but oh yeah, I did. Timothy Chalamet, I would say, brought my daughter Izzy to the Knicks. Izzy sat down because she liked Timothy Chalamet and she thought he might be at the game, so she started watching. This was probably mid-season. Then Izzy liked Tyler Kolek for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And he sort of doesn't look like he should be an NBA player. Just his appearance and his hair but he played really well in the games that we watched. He was a good player who now doesn't ever get in. And then Izzy has grown into being a fan of the team now. And then I'm also, I would say my number 4 reason, it's fun to see who's at the game.
It is fun. Fat Joe, don't care for you, Fat Joe.
Yeah.
Ben Stiller, yeah, you're fine. Who's
Izzy really likes Ben Stiller comedies.
He is funny. And you know what? His wife is very funny. I've been seeing a lot of Brady Bunch movie on TikTok for some reason, and she's the best part of that movie. Christine Taylor is her name. Tracy Jordan, I like Tracy Jordan. He's good. Spike Lee, I dislike because of the Pacer thing, but in a villain sort of way. I enjoy that he's there.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
the Timothy's girlfriend. I don't mind the Kardashians. Actually, I have a lot of respect for the Kardashians. I don't have this irrational hatred that people have towards women being successful. So yeah, I'm all for that.
Number 5, I think Kat has a fascinating personality.
Kat's a bit of a weirdo for
He makes me
sure.
laugh.
Yeah. I don't have any hatred towards Kat. I don't have any love either, but yeah, he's fine.
I guess I think Kat's now it's kind of turned a little bit. I've always thought, I mean, last year during some of the Pacers series, I thought we can't stop this guy. We can't do anything
Right.
with him. Every time he gets it, he scores. So for someone who I felt like that as an opposing fan, to just constantly be ragged on and chiseled away at, he seemed better than that to me. I felt like they didn't appreciate what they had. I kind of think they do now, though.
Right. I felt sorry for Kat when he got traded from Minnesota, actually, because he seemed to get scapegoated in Minnesota. And then he got up and down. It's very up and down in New York for Kat. And
Yeah.
actually, how he performs in his finals is going to be pretty important about how the New York public receives him, don't you think? If he stinks up this final, they're going to be down on Cat again. But that's the nature of sports and how people are so fickle and stupid.
Brunson probably could not be very good and would still be okay.
I mean, remember a couple of series ago, people were like, Rudy, he's great. Rudy Gobert's great again. We love Rudy. And then it was like, Rudy, you suck. Why do you even exist? Yeah. So it's just so up and down. It's pretty crazy. It's just a quick reminder when you're talking about stopping Cat against the Pacers. Pacers made it to the finals with like Tony Bradley as their center. I can't remember the other guy who was the center.
Oh no, it was Miles Turner.
Oh, it was Miles Turner. Well, he's proven to suck.
Right. Well, so, I don't know about suck,
I'm just
but
saying, right. Yeah.
Miles,
just another Pacers pain in my heart. Just got a reminder of.
Yeah, I think right. I think it worked out well for well, it's hard to say. A lot has happened.
You know what I'm going to also say, and this is totally about the Pacers.
Finger wagging.
A lot of people are regretting this Zubac trade. I don't regret it at all. Mm-hmm. We don't even want the 5th pick, guys. We were going to get the 5th pick, and you're going to get Keegan Wagler or some other short guard we don't want. If we can't get the top 4, I don't want it anyway, and I will take Zubac. So nice. I'm all for the trade. That's what I'm saying. Who else are you going to get? What other centers are around?
Yeah, right. I think the Pacers could still be very good next year.
Yeah, the Pacers needed a center.
And I don't mind a little gamble and see what we end up with here.
Yeah.
Tickets, it's okay. They don't all work out.
Yeah, sometimes the gambles work out and you look like a wonderful person, right?
I enjoy seeing the Villanova connection. So Bridges and Hart and Brunson all went to school together. They gently rib each other in the press conferences. It's funny. Those guys obviously care about each other. I like that. Yeah,
I don't love their podcast. I see podcast clips. I don't love it. But I do think an endearing video I've seen is the video of Jalen Brunson, who happened to be filmed when he found out that Josh Hart was getting traded to him and his excitement. So I thought that was pretty fun. Yeah, sure. I agree with that one.
2 funny moments related to that. And I saw what you're talking about. I think that is good. For example, they asked Brunson about looking for Josh Hart on the floor. And Brunson says something like, well, I wasn't looking for him. No one's guarding him. There was no one else to throw it to. So I had to throw it to him.
Okay. Yeah.
And then there was another time, I think I have this right on the People. They asked Brunson a question about them winning 2 titles together, et cetera, et cetera. And Brunson's like, wait, correction. I can't remember which one of the 2 won 2, but he said something like, well, me and Josh won 2. Miles only won 1.
Right.
I like all of that, even if I might have mixed up who won
Good nature, ribbing, and love. Right.
Yeah. So I enjoy that. And then finally, Mitchell Robinson being open about his mental struggles. He's missing those free throws, whatever he is, 3 of 18 in the last series, getting crushed on social media, that really being hard on his mental health. I guess he drives a giant white truck and listens to country music. All of that's kind of entertaining and interesting.
Okay. Well, I didn't know any of that. I didn't know he had a mental struggle. So
you knew about his free throws, though.
I knew he's a bad shooter, but he seems to me when I watch a Knicks game to be very important part of their victories. So even though you're not the greatest shooter, the free throws is sad. I don't truly understand how an NBA player can't make free throws, but
It's like you not eating food, I think.
yeah, it's just some kind of
It's a
mental.
mental
It's a
block
mental
and he can't
block
do
we
it.
can't get through. You're not eating food. That's true.
Okay. So if we look ahead to Knicks Spurs,
Also,
yeah.
one of the most important Knicks players, OG Anunoby.
Yes.
I think he's
That's right.
extremely important. He's going to be pivotal. He is a physical guard like Castle, like Harper, so he can
Yeah,
match up with them. A
he's more of
forward
a
guard, I don't know what he is.
yeah, I would say he's a wing.
He's a big body
Mhm.
that's really strong, is my point, I guess.
He's more like I mean, sort of like LeBron. I mean, he's just a physical wing. He's probably what, 6'8".
They
Uh,
think maybe he'll be guarding
oh, here you
Wemby.
go.
Yeah.
He's like Draymond who can shoot.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, interesting. So I don't know who, I mean, I'm gonna later talk about the series and who might win, why. I was thinking I was putting Wemby in the same category as Magic Johnson as a young player on the cusp of winning a title so young. But what I forgot is Magic supersedes Wemby on this part. Magic Johnson was 20 years old and won the MVP of the finals his rookie season.
Did he? So he got out of college early or what?
Yeah, he left early.
Oh, I
Um,
don't know anything about this.
he's 2 years younger than Wemby. So Wemby's 22 years old. This is Wemby's third year in the league. Magic was the MVP of the finals as a rookie, and Kareem was out. And Magic jumped center, blah, 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 that whole story, and played great. And Magic scored 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists to clinch the title. I looked up. So for me, it was a reminder in history of Wemby's not Magic. Magic was 2 years ahead of Wemby.
Right. Well, that's pretty magical.
Yeah, nice, Ann.
Thanks.
Ann did that on purpose, guys.
I did.
Okay, so first I was thinking maybe Brunson's not going to be able to score against the Spurs.
And why is this?
But then I decided Brunson will hunt De'Aaron Fox. My first thought was like, okay, Brunson's been hunting Harden and Mitchell. Maybe Mitchell a little more because he was hurt. But Brunson's not going to have anybody to hunt in this series. And De'Aaron Fox is better, I think, on defense than both of those guys. But they also can take De'Aaron Fox out. So that's sort of interesting. Like I continually am like, well, Brunson's not going to be able to do that against these guys. But then he always does it. So that's something I'm thinking about.
Right. I feel like he is going to do it, but maybe to slightly lesser degree. It's certainly not going to be as easy as it would be against the Cavs, I would think. The guards at the Spurs are much more physical and defensive minded.
Yes.
The Cavs are not defensive minded. Yeah.
So why would the Knicks win? I listed 3 reasons they might win. Any thoughts?
I guess if the Knicks win, it's because they're hitting all their threes. And Cat is hitting threes and also rolling to the rim, somehow getting around Wemby and scoring too. So, and they're getting lots of offensive rebounds. Those would be my junior level analysis of how they could possibly win. And they can win. I do think they can win just because of the up and downness of the Spurs. I just can't count on the Spurs every time. I don't know. Can I count on Champagny making 6 of 11 threes? I don't know. Maybe.
My number one reason I think the Knicks can win, they have a more polished offensive game. They know exactly what they're doing with Brunson. Everybody knows what they're looking for. Everybody knows what they do when Brunson's shut down. They know how they incorporate Cat. They know how they incorporate Bridges. Where I feel like from game to game, the Spurs are like, well, that's not working. We have to do something else. Wemby only got 4 rebounds and he didn't get any touches and he was pushed to 25 feet. So I think the Spurs are way more in flux of like, how do we play offense?
Right. The Spurs seem like they're still forming to be their best. They're not at their best yet, but they're not at their best still might be better than the Knicks, right?
Yep. Reason number 2 for the Knicks. The Knicks can play 5 3-point shooters. There's no Hartenstein for Wemby to roam off of.
Right.
I
No
guess it'll be
Chet.
Josh Hart.
No.
Maybe Wemby guards Josh Hart. I think he might.
Right. Because Josh Hart is streaky. Yeah, I don't know. These threes are really important.
And then number 3, you already brought it up. The Knicks starters have had a nice rest.
The Knicks starters are well rested. The Spurs might be like, we did it. But you still got to play the Knicks guys,
Wemby doesn't seem like a we did it guy.
Yeah. But, we beat the Thunder. We beat the existing champs, or whatever you call them, the former champs.
Defending champs.
The defending champs, the existing champs. So they might be like, we made it to the top of the mountain, but then, oh my gosh, we got to win 4 more games.
So you could say Wemby collapsed and broke down in tears at the accomplishment. Jalen Brunson did not do that.
Right. I do think, though, you have to think of a couple things. First, Wemby seems like a very emotional man in general.
Yep.
2, it's also like an exhaustion cry. Have you ever seen that video? It's a funny video of a little boy, and you're familiar with little children. You've had them.
Yeah.
And he's crying, laughing, and his mom's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "I'm having a great time," but he's crying. So, I mean, it's just like you're emotionally spent, you're exhausted, and he just lets it out. To me, it was more like an exhaustion cry.
And the Spurs win was dramatic. And the Knicks win was a dominant.
Yeah, it was a sweep. You already felt like you won, If the Knicks beats the Pacers, they probably would have been more excited last year. But, of course, they got beat. So
2 more questions to finish the podcast. Why would the Spurs win? Who will win? So starting with why would the Spurs win, and what do you have?
Why would the Spurs win? The Spurs win because no one can stop Wemby. Wemby hits his threes. His supporting cast hits his threes. They don't turn the ball over. They intimidate Knicks on defense. And Mitchell Robinson can't do anything with his broken finger. So what kind of real strength do they have on their front court? Because Cat is more of a Wemby-esque player, like a shooter. He's not really like this power guy in the middle, right? So that's how I think they win.
He can do it a little bit.
But he won't, I bet.
Why would the Spurs win? Number 1, I said no weak links on defense with certain lineups. De'Aaron Fox's defense is a question mark for me. I'm not sure, but they definitely can take. Sorry, De'Aaron Fox, because I think you were a big part of the win.
He actually played pretty good defense on Shea.
I know. I think he did too. I mean, so he's a question mark for me. But I feel like they can take Fox out, and now they have probably 4. Maybe if they take Fox out, everyone can guard Jalen Brunson, including Wemby. So maybe they don't have to get that much help. Now, I will say the Spurs defenders are overly aggressive, and that can be used against them, and maybe Brunson's going to shoot a whole bunch of free throws.
Right. Now, Brunson, you tell me, in my memory, yes, he does make a lot of shots, but he also drives in all the time, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is like,
yeah, well, are you going to drive in against Wemby? I don't know.
Are all these, I think there's a chance that all of his pivots and shot fakes will draw a lot of fouls, but there's also a chance that long athletic defenders stay down and he has trouble.
Right. Yeah. Can they be disciplined and not do dumb things? Plus, I guess another reason is they did beat him in the cup.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
And I think Brunson somewhere scored 61 points against the Spurs in one game.
Yeah. So, they've had success.
So we've talked about these other 2 reasons a lot. I think because of Wemby, the Spurs shooters are going to have a lot of opportunity. So to what degree do they make them? And then your number 1 reason is my number 3 reason. Wemby's just too unique on both sides of the ball to overcome.
Right.
Okay. Finishing up with your prediction, Ann.
Spurs in 6.
Spurs in 6.
I almost want to say 5, but I think that might bite me in the ass. So I'm going to go Spurs in 6.
What's the dominant reason that it's the Spurs?
Because they really are clicking now. Wemby is so mentally just competitive. He's a bit Michael Jordan-esque, maybe a little bit in the competitive way. Although I don't know if anybody's quite Michael Jordan, but he wants it so bad. And so he's not like this soft guy that's like happy to take the check. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's outspoken about wanting to be a champion now. He even sort of said something like, I hope to do this 10 or 15 times.
Yeah. Crazy talk.
That's sort of the
That would be
LeBron.
when I start rooting against them, just because it's like we can't have this every time.
15 would be a lot.
Yeah.
10 would be a lot.
Even next year, I anticipate rooting against them.
I didn't say how many games,
they
but I'll
lose.
add that, having heard you say
Okay.
it. I'll say Knicks in 7.
Knicks in 7. Now that would be great excitement.
So I say I don't really know. It feels like a toss-up series. But as I make my prediction, I think the Spurs defense is going to be a dominant force in the series. But I think the Knicks' experienced, sophisticated, polished offense, more organized offense will be enough scoring when both teams have trouble scoring. So I believe in the Knicks offense more than I believe in anything else in the series.
Maybe the Knicks offense, discipline, veteran type feeling, and then the Spurs, I believe in their athleticism, and they just need to make shots. If they make shots, the Spurs will win.
So if we see like a high ball screen, Brunson gets a switch, he drives, there's 3 shot fakes, Vassell stays down, Brunson shoots over extended arms, misses, and that's what we see a lot of, then the Knicks are going to lose.
Right.
Yeah.
If you see him do that and he kicks it back to Cat, who's standing at 3-point line and buries it,
And I feel like this assignment brought you back into finishing off watching the NBA.
That and the Spurs winning. If Thunder won, I would have been depressed. But also, in a weird way, I would have been like, I hope the Thunder crushes the Knicks. I don't know why. Just because the Knicks are getting too arrogant. New York's on too big of a high. We can't have it.
I don't get caught up. There definitely could be teams I wouldn't want to watch. I don't hate anyone here. I'm not really rooting for anyone other than I probably 2 weeks ago bet the Knicks to win. So I'll cheer for them for that reason. But really, I just like watching good basketball. I enjoy the spectacle of New York City.
You know what was pleasant about this game is there weren't blown whistles all the time, right?
There were or were not?
There were not.
No, there was less free throws.
Sometimes you watch OKC and it's like another free throw. And it's just like, blah, I hate this crap. So less whistles, even though I do think Caruso should have got a flagrant. He obviously was trying to hurt him at the last second. He thought, oh, this is bad. And he kind of tried to stop his fall.
There were 10 sequences where 4 or 5 players ended up on the floor.
Right. And
it's like, what is happening?
Yeah. Which I guess I'm for, but it does seem a little crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. That's just where the intensity is so much higher than in the regular season.
Right.
All right, Ian. Good job.
All right. Good job.
Good to see you. Thanks for listening, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.
Smart takes the shot, and the Hoosiers with 3 seconds. Go ahead.
But what we found out is that each one of us is a brain and an athlete
and a basket case, a princess,
and a criminal. Does that answer your question?
I love you guys.